this is all happening in 1 week, right? But the thing is that all of these people are not communicating with each other. So we don't know that it's all happening in the same space of time. So then one night, I'm sleeping, I'm in my bed, and then I hear like the shouting, like of like a man shouting. And the thing is that our window looked out onto the swimming pool. And from the swimming pool there was a wall, and from that there was like the street. So the thing is that our curtain wasn't built for the length of our window because our window was quite tall. And so at the bottom there was always like a space left where the window curtain couldn't close it. So I am just like, no. I'm really freaked out from what Princess just told me the day before. So I'm like, what is this? And I hear this man scream so late in the night. So late in the night. And I'm just like, do not move. Do not look at what is outside. Because if the way I was sleeping, if I was just to turn my head, I could have seen what was happening. But I was like, I don't want to see, I don't want to know nothing. So obviously, go back to sleep. I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, I don't say anything. I'm just like, okay, because I've forgotten about the incident. Like, this happened around in the early hours of the morning, so I forgot about it. And I go down to breakfast. So from breakfast, it was a long table, maybe seated like 10 to 12 of us, like of us matric grade 12 learners. And so this girl, she's talking with, because we sort of sat in our own like little cliques or groups or whatever, or like with our own roommates. Let me say that we mostly sat with the people that we were roommates with because we were friends naturally like that. And so I'm having a conversation at the one end of the table, and at the other end another conversation is happening. And she's like, I cannot believe you guys, this girl at the one end of the table, she's like, I cannot believe you guys didn't hear that. They were screaming last night. I'm not mad. So I'm like, wait, you heard it too? And she's like, you heard it too? She's like, my roommates are not believing me because nobody else heard it. Now, my other roommate heard it as well, and she had also woken up. She tells me this. She had also woken up, but she was too scared to call out to me. And at that time, I was too scared to call out to her. So at the time, we had both been awake, but we didn't know it because we were too scared to move or do anything. So we're like, we heard it. Now, imagine like 3 out of like 12 people at the table heard the screaming at night. Obviously, there's gonna be a bit of doubt. And she's like, you see, like the other girl from the other room, she's like, you see, I wasn't going mad. I was telling you guys this whole morning and none of you believe me. You see, now I have 2 other people who heard it just as well. But they're like, you guys really heard it. We're like, it was as clear as if you were to scream right now. And they're like, okay, perhaps you heard it, but we were too deep into sleep that we didn't hear it at all. And then she goes even further, the girl at the other end of the table. She goes even further. She was like, did you also see the people that filled up the soccer field? Because from the swimming pool was a street, and from that street was the soccer field of like our neighboring school. And she's like, I saw just a whole bunch of people on that soccer field. And I tried to tell them this, and at that point I was like, nah, I didn't see that. I didn't see it. Because she had woken up. When she heard that scream, she had woken up, looked outside the window, and that's what she saw. She saw people. She said she saw like a whole bunch of people at the soccer field. And it would have been understandable if it was like in the evening side, but this happened quite early morning side, so it wouldn't make sense for people to be on the field on the field of a school nonetheless. So I'm like, okay, I didn't see that. I can testify and like be like, okay, I saw I heard the screams, but like seeing the people on the floor, I didn't see that. I was too scared to get out of bed, so I didn't see anything. And she's like, but I saw it. I really saw it, guys. I'm not mad. But anyways, that ends, and we're like, okay. Like, at that point, we're now like, what is happening? Because one of my roommates came up and told me, because I didn't know about one of the house mothers also hearing a scream, but this happened on different days. Like, whereas for us it happened quite later in the week, for her it happened earlier in the week. And this is where the stories come together now. Now, on the day, on the early morning, where the house mother heard that woman screaming from outside her apartment, is the same morning that my roommate says that something woke her up and said, get up, get up, get up. And it was such a coincidence that it happened at the same time, because that house mother also checked the time. She checked the time, and it was also between 4:15 and 4:20, just like my roommate, who also woke up, checked the time, and she saw there was 4:15 and between 4:15 and 4:20. Now this is where the stories are sort of coming into together. And then if you also add the two roommates who were having those nightmares together, plus what me, my roommate, and that other girl from the other room experienced together, a whole bunch of things were just happening in such a short amount of time. And so the one night we were like, okay, can we please have no originally it was going to be like exam time, and so naturally we do call in some women from the church, and they come in and pray for us. And it just so happened that the time that they were coming was the time that all of this activity was just going on. So when they came, they were like, we have special prayers, can you please pray for us for this and this and this is what's been happening, and this has been just so out of control, especially considering that this is the Halloween week. We don't know if it's connected, because there was an incident where there was quite a lot of illegal grave diggers happening, where people just went to grave sites and just dug people out of their graves for no apparent reasons. I still don't know today why they did that. And our school was quite close to where those things were happening, so we didn't know if that was related at all. So as praying Christians, we were like, we need these women from the church to just like pray for us, because it is really freaking us out that it's not just happening to one person, but it's happening to all of us, and it's connected in just a way that is too, it can't be a coincidence. Yeah, after that it wasn't after that week, I can say there wasn't any strange happenings after that, because they went to each room and they prayed individually. And after that, it just sort of didn't happen anymore. It might have been that they were just drunk people in the night who wanted to just scream on random occasions. And just like it may have been that two people experiencing the same nightmare, because maybe they saw something together since they're roommates. It all can have a rational explanation. We will just never know.